after the former head of the city's troubled juvenile jail left his position. Documents show he was hired by newly elected Orleans Parish Sheriff Susan Hudson.
Well, during his time running the juvenile jail, Webster faced mounting criticism from jail employees and from City Hall.
Investigative reporter Mike Pearlstein obtained documents that show, despite that criticism of his tenure at the juvenile jail, he quickly appeared at the adult jail with a new and lucrative role.
The beginning of the end of Keyshawn Webster's time as the head of the city's juvenile jail was marked with the escape of 4 juveniles who immediately carjacked a woman. Accusations that he was rarely seen at the jail, and even a letter saying he was fired. That letter was never delivered, but shortly after that, Webster took a leave of absence from the jail and was paid more than $21,000 during that time. When that leave ended, records show Webster showed up at the side of newly elected Sheriff Susan Hudson. When we asked about his role, we were told by a spokesman, quote, he volunteered his expertise during her transition. Well, records obtained today by Channel 4 show Webster's volunteer efforts were very lucrative.
This is troubling. I'd like to know how this evolved.
Invoices from Webster through his company, the Webster Group, show that he was paid more than $36,000 for less than 5 weeks of work as Hudson's, quote, acting chief of staff.
The city of New Orleans, as you documented, had issued a dismissal letter to him based on his mismanagement of the JJIC. So for him to be brought in there is baffling.
The records show Webster billed the sheriff for 209 hours at a rate of $175 an hour. By comparison, that's more than the sheriff gets paid herself. And his total pay for that 1 month is about $7,000 more than the $29,000 that the jail's deputies get paid in a year.
In the spirit of transparency, she owes an explanation to the public via the media.
By all accounts, Sheriff Hudson has gotten off to a rocky start since her trailblazing inauguration on May 2nd. In just 4 months, the sheriff has been rocked by an inmate death during a fight, a suicide, at least 5 stabbings, and the inmate takeover of a tier for nearly 3 days before state prison officials came in to restore order. Prisoner advocate Norris Henderson was part of Hudson's transition team, which he said worked for free for several months ahead of the sheriff taking over the jail. He said he never saw Webster take part in that work.
He didn't attend none of the care meetings that we were chairing as a part of that. And so if he attended some of the other ones, I don't have a clue.
When we told Henderson about Webster getting paid, he offered this.
That's the lesson learned. That's the lesson learned. Sometimes we make bad investments.
Mike Pearlstein, Eyewitness News.
Well, we reached out to Webster for a comment, but we have not heard back just yet. But we did receive a statement from the sheriff about Webster's time as a highly paid consultant. It said, quote, Dr. Webster is a valued partner in the fight for criminal justice reform. He provided his expertise during my transition, and I am very thankful for his help during that time. Dr. Webster's term with OPSO lasted approximately 1 month through June 7th of 2022, and we thank him for helping organize our team early on. Now, Hudson also stated that she would be naming a permanent chief of staff that'll be in the coming days.